Good morning. Happy Monday. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get in here and get going, please. Good morning. I've missed you.
So you're in a hurry? Well, you better calm down. We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Because it's a beautiful day.
Thanks for sharing. Well, that was fun. Now you see me, now you don't. Good morning, good morning. I had to change it over to my hotspot because I'm in a hotel and the Wi-Fi is not great here, but I think I'm back. Hang on, let me see. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that's you, Stacy, CEWN. Okay. Well, shall I play the song again and get everybody in here? Let's do that. I think we need to hear it again. I need to hear it again. I've missed playing it for you all. Share, share, share. Good morning. Wow, have they changed everything while I was gone? Having a hard time sharing it this morning. There we are. All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Let's see who we got on here. Suzanne, good morning. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Stacy. Catherine, thank you for my welcome back. Yes, Deirdre, it's good to be back in the pea pod. I ran away for a bit, didn't I? Rick Morrow, good morning. Kathy Hand, hello, hello. Who else we got? Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Oh my gosh, I got the message from Projetta last night about what's going on there in India. What the heck? You guys, it's not like weren't having troubles already, and now you've been hit with a cyclone. Wow. And still praying for your Aunt Sonia, Jasmine, and tell us how she's doing today. Erica, hello, darling. Janet Byron, good morning. Jennifer, good morning. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I missed all of you too. Catherine, I am now in Utah. I have gone north. So I'm in Cedar City, Utah. I'm at a little place called Abbey Inn. And do I have a story about that? Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, Janet, I'm so glad you stopped in. Jean Lorio, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Jasmine said Prochetta is safe in Goya, but has some network issues due to the cyclone there. Fortunately, the cyclone has passed. I am so glad that it is gone, and hopefully with very minimal damage. I don't know. I don't hear news, so I don't know how bad it was, but definitely praying for everyone there in India and everyone that was in the path of that storm. And Jasmine says, yes, thank you. Need strong prayers for Sonia to be able to heal in comfort. Definitely, definitely. We're keeping her lifted up. All right. So I left, as you all know, I left Nevada, or I left Las Vegas after I visited with my friend there. And I didn't know where I was going. So I just headed north because that's the direction the Angel Mobile said to go. And I wasn't sure what the destination was. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to end up in South Dakota eventually. So that I have to go north to get there, right? So I headed north. And as I was traveling on the road, this sign just kind of jumped out and grabbed me that said Valley of Fire. And I thought, well, that's an interesting name for a place, the Valley of Fire. So let me check that out. That was my human brain. My spiritual brain goes, oh, you're going to go in here and you're going to go through that fire. So that's what happened. I was there. I went in and I paid for one night as a campground with fees. So I paid for one night. I went in. I just felt like I had just entered into this magical kingdom where all the rocks took on a form of some sort. There were all kinds of shapes in there. There were named rocks. There were unnamed rocks. It was very, very different than any place I'd ever been before. And everything was red. So that's why it was called the Valley of Fire. Everything, the rocks, the dirt, everything was red. So I stayed the first night and I heard, okay, just stay for 4 more nights. So I did. I was there for 5 nights without internet, no way to get on and chat with any of you until I left the campground and drove about, I think it was about 12 miles that I had to drive to get to this little town where I could get Wi-Fi. So I did that just to let you all know what was going on and that I wouldn't be able to do any of the shows that I normally do, but that I was okay. Well, even after telling you I was okay, I got so many messages from many of you, and thank you for your prayers. Thank you for lifting me up. Thank you for checking on me and saying, are you really okay? Because y'all know me, right? I can't stay away from you. You're my family. And I have to have you surrounding me and lifting me up just as I need to be here to lift you up. So thank you. Thank you for all the concern. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for everything that you all kept going during the week, like the chanting. Thank you to our Jean Lorio, our little Auntie Jean, that kept everything just moving along with the chanting group. So I went through fire this last 5 days. It was really harrowing. But right now, we're going to get back into our routine, and then I'll tell you the story of the hotel. And good morning, Isabel. So let's do our heart brain and do our I am stories, and then we'll have more campfire stories. All right, so touching your heart center. Y'all remember how to do this. I know you do. Touch your heart center. Breathe in slowly. Slow it all down. Breathe back out slowly. I'm listening to birds chirping outside my door. And then add in the love, add in gratitude, add in joy. So grateful to be here with all of you this morning. I am so happy to be alive on this beautiful day. I am abundant. I am enough. I am a miracle. I am loved. I am love. And I am peace. What's your I am story today? Tammy Fisk. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, thank you, honey. I hope you have a good doctor's appointment and you get really good news. Catherine, I am letting go. I love that. Jasmine, I am in constant prayer for my Aunt Sonia. I am healthy, whole, and complete now. I am peace. I am love. Beautiful. Stacy, I am reborn and healed today. Erica, I am love and light. Jean Lorio, I am joy. Yes, you are. Erica, I am grateful. Kathy, I am so grateful. Cuppa JoY is back. And Deirdre, I'm so happy to be here with my fellow peas. Suzanne, I am blessed. Erica, I am blessed. Jennifer, I am enough and grateful to be alive. Awesome, Stacy. Let's hold you up for a very good result there. And Erica, I am peace. Yes, yes. And we are the P's for peace. I am so happy to be back with you all. Oh my goodness, what a week this has been. So I'm going to pull a Kuan Yin card this morning. While I'm doing that, let me just share with you that while I was in the campground, there were no facilities for bathing or anything like that. Couldn't wash my hair, couldn't take a bath, a shower. So after 5 days, I was done. And I told God, I said, okay, I did that. Now I want a bed and I want a shower. I want that. So I was driving north and I didn't know where I was supposed to stop. I just was driving again. I'm like, okay, God, I'm trusting you. Seeing the sign for the Abbey Inn. I thought, okay, I will take that as my sign that I'm supposed to be there. It kept saying the best, the number one. So I said, okay. So I pulled over at the exit and I went online actually when I had internet. I went to a place where I could get internet and I went to Priceline because, yes, they do give you the best prices for hotels. And I looked up Abbey Inn and it was the best price out of all the hotels. So I got here and went up to get my room. And she asked if I wanted first floor or second floor. And I said, first floor, please. So she handed me my room key. And guess what room number I am in? 1111. I kid you not. I don't have it right here in front of me, but I'm in room 1111 at the Abbey Inn. I said, of course I am. So then I thought, okay, I'll be here in time for chanting tonight. So let me get everything ready for that and get it set up. I have time to get everything together to set it up. And my computer is still on Eastern time. I have not changed it as I've been traveling so that I know what time it is wherever I'm at. I know what time it is on the East Coast. So I'm setting it up and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to start soon, right? And I look and I'm in mountain time. So I'm not 3 hours ahead or behind all of you. I'm only 2 hours. So I had time for that wonderful shower that I so needed. And I did that. I got refreshed, renewed, and I went on to chanting last night. And it was so great to be with everyone. So yes, I didn't have to get up to be here at 5 o'clock this morning. I could sleep that extra hour and be here at 6 o'clock my time where I'm at. And yeah, life is beautiful. Life has taken so many twists and turns this last week, and so many miracles have happened, so many messages from God, from the angels. I feel like I've been just stripped down and a whole new person. I really do after that 5 days in the wilderness by myself. And thank you all for your beautiful words. And yeah, it really was so cool of those angels to show me that that's where I needed to be, and that was the place. So here I am. I got a great night's sleep, and I feel wonderful this morning. Not that I was feeling bad, I was just tired because I didn't get a whole lot of rest in the campsite. It was constant messages and communication. So last night I slept and I feel really, really good this morning. I want to read the Kuan Yin card. I haven't even looked at it yet. Sisters of the Rising Sun. You are a highly creative being with the ability to help raise the vibration of consciousness on this planet through your creative projects and dreams. Remain open to other souls joining forces with you, just like Sisters of the Rising Sun, who bring great energy to help humanity through their group endeavors. When you allow for aligned group effort, wonderful things can happen. That's us. The Sisters of sisters and brothers of the rising sun. So yes, even the cards know that our group is something powerful and magnificent and so important for us to keep going and to lift each other and to really be there for each other. So we had a little break, but now we're right back to it. So hopefully everyone will get the memo. I see we're missing quite a few of our P's this morning. Charlie's not here. Where is our Charlie? Where's our Sally and Tony and Christina, Becky? We're missing some P's. Linda Lemieux. Let's get them all in here. Let's say their name. And thank you all for your words. Thank you for missing me. I missed you too. And I missed hearing that song every morning. It's a beautiful day. It was in my head, but I didn't have internet, so I couldn't play it. But yeah, it's been a great week. My first night at the campground, I was just in awe. I was just there taking it all in. I was in total darkness at night. There are no lights at all. So it's total blackout, just me and the sky. And what a magnificent sky that is. And out here, out west, you can actually see the Milky Way up in the sky. You can see it so clearly. It's so beautiful. Marietta, hello, darling. Thank you for your message. I love you so much. And Jennifer, thank you. And yes, Kathy, we certainly are. We're very powerful. And the love that's shown here, that's our power. That's our superpower. So I don't even know where to start. The time away, just out in the wilderness, I really highly recommend for everybody to take a break. It can be one day, but whatever you decide, whatever you choose, take a break. Just put aside everything, all the electronics, all of your phone, your computer, everything. I had no phone service. I had no way of picking the phone up and even talking to anybody. So I had a lot of alone time. And when it's just you and God, wow, as Deirdre would say, the shit gets real. There's no hiding. There's no distraction. There's no anything other than sitting and paying attention. And I did. I paid attention. I got mad. I got sad. Didn't get scared. It wasn't scary to be there by myself, but it was just interesting. That's the best word I can use to describe it. It was so interesting to watch things transpire and to watch me go through the process. It was like I stepped away for a minute and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I know I'm supposed to be here. I know I'm supposed to pay attention to everything and to listen. So a lot of times I would just sit and listen. I would listen to the birds. I would listen to other people and watch other people that were around me and see the interactions. But most of all, I just listened to chatter in my head and I'm going, all right, when's this going to stop, God? Like I need to just calm down the chatter, right? It took me a whole, I think, 2 days just to calm the chatter. It was the most interesting process to just stop everything and stop questioning to where I could just sit with myself and wait, just sit and wait and not be thinking about anything out there, but look at what was inside. And this is what we do, isn't it? This is what I came to realize, that what we do And I'm speaking me and people that I know I talk to all the time that come to me for with questions and come to me for coaching or healings or questioning, whatever it might be. We're constantly looking out there. We're constantly looking at what's going on with our interactions with others, with relationships, with, whatever's money, whatever's going on in the world. When you're all by yourself and it's just all of that is shut off, it's going to take a while. And I'm telling you this from my experience. It's going to take a while to stop that chatter, to shut it down, to stop saying, I wonder what's going on with so and so. I wonder how this person's doing. I wonder what's happening with India. I wonder this. And it really does take, it took me 2 days to stop that chatter. So after the chatter stopped, then I'm like, all right, God, what am I doing? What am I doing here? And I would just sit and I wouldn't get an answer. And I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing here then. So just show me signs, show me something. And I would go through periods where I would get frustrated with things. The flies. The flies were relentless in the mountains that they are. It's just one of those things that you deal with. And at first I was talking to them and I'm like, okay, y'all are irritating. You're not leaving me alone. You're frustrating. I had some bug spray to spray on myself, but after I took a bath in it for a whole day, I was like, okay, now I'm itchy and you're still irritating me. There was no getting away from the flies. So I had to learn how to cohabit with them. And it was interesting to sit and talk with the flies. And yeah, I thought I was losing my mind. I'm going, I must be crazy. But it was part of my experience. It was part of what I was to learn to do, was just be by myself with whatever came up. Whatever, there was always going to be something to irritate and frustrate. And this was one of the lessons. There's always going to be something in life that's going to be there. And it'll show up. And how are we going to handle it? How did I handle the flies? Well, I'm not proud to say that I was very, very frustrated for about a day. I was just like, how do people do this? I'm watching other people. They're not battling the flies. They're not constantly swatting at them and being distracted by them. And it was like, that was a test. It was a test to see if I was going to go off onto another distraction. I didn't have electronics to distract me, but here were these flies that were not leaving me alone. It was no matter where I went, they were there, unless I got in the car and rolled up the windows. So I did that. And I have to tell you all this story because it's very interesting. I got in the car and this fly actually followed me to the car. It was a pretty big fly. And I'm sitting there in the car just breathing because it was like, finally, there's no buzzing, there's no noise, there's no just relentless hum and buzz of flies. And I looked out the window and this fly was sitting on the side view mirror looking at me. And I swear it was looking at me and I'm looking at this fly and I'm going, what the heck? And it was looking at me like, what the heck are you doing in there? You're supposed to be out here. And then I watched this fly come toward me and actually fly into the window. And I'm like, all right, this is just getting really bizarre. So, so I had to learn how to live with the flies. And intuitively, I started chanting and I chanted Om. When I chanted Om, the buzzing stopped. The flies that were around me and on me just put their wings up. They didn't fly, they just put their wings up. And I'm going, okay, are you serious, God? This is what I'm supposed to do, is chant to the flies? And I'm serious, they stopped flying, they stopped buzzing, they stopped doing anything other than just sitting there while I chanted Om. And I'm like, okay, I can't chant 24 hours a day. So I chanted some and it calmed the flies down. So if you ever have flies buzzing around you, just chant Om. And that'll calm their energy, at least while you're chanting. But that was an interesting part of that time there, was the flies. And then I realized, okay, I don't have a tent, so I'm out. Well, I had a tent. No, that's the other story. I had a tent. I had stopped and bought one on my way there because I knew I was going to need one for South Dakota, right? So I went ahead and prepared while I was in the city so I could buy one. And I could not figure out how to put the tent together. I tried, and it was supposed to be 1 minute setup. It's an instant pop-up tent. It wasn't popping. It wasn't setting up. And I was irritated and frustrated at that. And I just sat there and threw it on the ground. I said, okay, I'm done. I'm not supposed to have a tent, obviously, to protect me from the flies and anything else. So it was just laying on the ground. And I just was putting up with the flies and was just sitting there doing some meditating as best I could. And I said, all right, God, if you want me to have this tent up and together, then you need to send me help because I can't figure it out. I've read the instructions 50 times. I've done everything that it says to do. It's just not going together. So as I sat there and was just, I think I'd made a cup of coffee or something, and thank God for coffee. And I sat there, and all of a sudden, I hear this angelic voice say hello. And I look around, and this lady had stopped by my site, and with a big smile on her face, and she looked hot and tired. And I said hello back, and she goes, I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to ask what the Peace on Earth tour is. So that struck up a conversation, and we sat and we chatted. She was from Alaska, but she really was an angel sent from God. So I asked her if she would try to help me with the tent, and she goes, sure, we'll do this. So she picks up the tent, and the instructions were like, okay, do this, and you're done. So we're looking at it and we're trying, and it's not happening, even with two people, and we're trying to figure it out. And she goes, oh, this side is backwards. So it was constructed wrong in manufacturing to where one of the sides was backwards. So we were trying to move it around and change it and shift it so that it would be not backwards anymore. Didn't work. We finally got it constructed, but it was upside down. So I had an upside down tent and I couldn't use it. And I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not supposed to have a tent. So that's what happened with the tent. That was the tent story, but I got to meet a wonderful lady and share with her about the Peace on Earth tour and all you Ps that are part of my life and part of the journey, and the places that I had been and what the land blessings were all about. And throughout that whole time there were people that asked about the journey and that would just smile and wave or talk about the sign. I could hear them talking about it. So yes, I met angels while I was there. I met helpful people. I was able to have coffee every morning, thanks to Rosalind, who I stayed with along the way. She had gifted me with a coffee set to make coffee without electricity. It runs on propane to heat the water, and then it has a drip component where it drips the water into your cup So every morning I was able to have coffee. My challenge was to have the creamer because, yes, Teri likes her coffee with lots of cream. It has to be white. So the challenge was keeping the creamer cold so that it didn't go bad. And since it was 100 degrees outside, it was really hard to keep ice cold and frozen. So I had to go into this 12-mile journey into town to get ice. And I thought I had enough. And the cooler said it would keep the ice, it would keep things cold, right, for 3 days, not in 100-degree weather. It kept it for 1 day. Then I had to go back and get some more. But I survived it. And there were so many lessons and blessings. And I started writing them all out. I started making a list of things I said to God because I'm not proud of some of the things I said to God. And then I made a list of the things God said back to me. And God is so loving and so powerful and so amazing. And there were moments where I was like, okay, I'm done. And I just said that. I said it out loud. I'm done, God. I'm just done. And God says, no, you're not done. You're not going to quit just before the miracle. No, no, no. So I wasn't able to quit everything. It was just a moment of when I had to let go of all ego and let go of any expectation. That was what I was taught more than anything. And as I was communicating with the UFOs, there were 1,000 UFOs every night. I could just look up and see the travel that was going on with my naked eye. I could see them up in the sky. And I was communicating and I said, I want to be there. I want to be with you guys. I want to see your inside of your spacecraft. I want to see everything. And I heard this voice say, what if we're not what you expect? And I'm going, oh, okay. So again, losing expectations. That was one of my biggest lessons on this journey, losing all expectations of everything, everything. Here I thought it was going to be, oh, peace and joy and relax and, uh, just be. But a big part of it wasn't just being. A big part of it was learning to just exist with whatever life hands you, whether it hands you flies or it hands you angels or it hands you this beauty of creation, whatever it is, how do you handle it? And I think that was what I'm supposed to have. That's like my takeaway is how to handle life, how to handle this experience that we're here for. And yes, there were many, many, many messages, and I wrote them down. I listened, and as I listened, I grew with each moment that I was hearing the inspiration. And I knew that I would be coming back more uplifted and more challenged. And it's in the challenges that we have that growth. It's not in the sitting in the yoga position and breathing. That's not when we have the growth. The growth is when the flies are buzzing. The growth is when we have the chatter and we have to learn how to deal with the chatter and deal with what's happening in life and really see what we're made of. That's what it was. It was, what are you made of, Teri? What is inside of there? What is that strength that you have, stripping everything down and getting rid of all the expectations and then going forward, not with an expectation of, oh, I'm just going to sit in peace and quiet and enjoy and rest. It wasn't about that at all. It was about what is this experience supposed to be? What is this experience? And how do I learn from it? How do I grow from it? How do I really know it? how do I keep going without throwing this down on the ground and saying, I quit, I give up? There's no giving up. There is no quitting. There's no I'm done, because I'm not done. I'm just ready for the next challenge now. And I know that whatever that next challenge is, I'm ready for it. And I think I have mentioned before that the next big part of what I'll be doing is a sun dance. A sun dance is a Native American ritual, and I will be going there in the first part of June. I'm on my way. I'm going north. So as I mentioned that to my angel lady that came by to help me, she goes, "Oh, I hear that's really tough." And I'm like, "You want to hear tough? I've been through tough. I'm ready for whatever now." So I think that was my prep. Those 5 days in the wilderness was my prep for going more into the fire, from the valley of fire going to the Sundance and experiencing whatever's going to happen there. I don't even know. I don't know what to expect. I'm not going to even try to figure it out, because I kept hearing that question all week. What if it's not what you expect? And I had to sit with that. I had to sit with, what if anything in life is not what we expect? What if it's exactly as it's supposed to be? And here we are thinking it's supposed to be something different altogether. But this is the journey. This is what's handed to us. How are we going to now deal with what we're given? So I see it's time for our prayers. Let's do that. Let's put our prayers in. And there'll be more campfire stories, I'm sure, as they want me to bring them forward to you. There were so many happenings. And as I was there, I didn't just stay in one spot. I was there for 5 nights. I think I was at 4 different spots in that camping area. It's huge. It's really huge. And I was at a place called Arch Rock. There was another whole campground, but for some reason I was supposed to be where I was on that side. And there were, I don't even remember how many campsites, but I stayed at 4 of them and would move it. In the morning, I would just pack everything up in the car and drive around. And I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to go now? And so I go to a different site and have different views and different experiences with people around me. Good morning, Linda. Oh, thank you, John Rendell. Good morning to you. Yes, it is God's work. It's all God's work. And I just, this week was at that point of saying, I don't even know what I expect from God. And I just let it flow and just let everything be stripped away so that I could get to the real heart of God, which is inside of me. Okay, so Deirdre, yes, I did call the tent angels, and yes, she showed up. And it was beautiful to sit and chat with her, and just to have another person that understands about spirit and spirituality and meditating. Jasmine, I wish we could grow without strife, just grow mostly with love. Yeah, I do too. I do wish that. But then, as they showed me, we don't have the biggest growth when we have love only, when we have peace only. This is about contrast. This is about how do we handle whatever we're given. Even if we're given love, how do we handle that? How do we take that for what it's worth, for all that it is, and enjoy it? Or do we mess that up too? Many times we do. Many times relationships are not easy because of expectations. So it was all about that this week for me. It was all about expectations, losing those expectations so that I could see what was real and how things really are and how I deal with things. Okay, so Jennifer, praying for India, most definitely praying for India. They have been through the mill, haven't they? And still going through it. And for our beautiful family over there, Prachetta, Prachir, Navriti, Jasmine, love you so much. And just praying for some peace over there for you, praying for things to settle down. And just when we think things are settling down, you go and get a cyclone of all things. Uh, just really lifting all of you up. Deirdre, continued prayers for India and all who are affected by it, our Angelic River Family, Gaia, and world peace. Yes, yes. Isabel says, awesome experience. That is how we really can empty ourselves. Missed you. I missed you too, my darling. Jasmine, prayers for Sonia to heal. Prayers for Navriti, Prachetta, and Prachir's family. Yes, yes. Prayers for Sonia. Lilac Earth, hello on YouTube. It's good morning. Thank you, Teri, for shining your love and being like a river of light, overcoming your challenges with ease and grace of water. uh, yeah, I don't know how much grace I showed. I was a mess for a couple of days until I really got it. And when I got it, when I understood what it was all about, was losing those expectations, losing that hold on my expectations, thinking that it had to be a certain way, that I was just going to sit and meditate in peace and quiet. No, it wasn't about that at all. It was about learning who I was on the inside and listening. Lilac Earth, thank you for holding this higher vibration for all of us. The angels guide and protect you. Oh, they certainly do. Those beautiful angels, as I was just observing things and just sending love. That's what I was doing there in that campground. As I would observe people, there were people that were there on vacation arguing. There were families arguing and fighting. And there were others that were disrespectful of the neighbors on either side of them. I just kept sending love and would start to go into judgment. And I would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the message. I didn't learn that lesson. Let me get out of judgment and go into where they're at, go into their energy and just send love. And that's what I would start doing. And when I did that, my angel lady was having a problem with the campsite next to hers. And so I told her, I said, well, I'm just going to pray and send love over to them because they were very disruptive. For 2 days, they were so disruptive. I was on the other side of the rock that they were camped out on, and I could hear them most of the night screaming at each other. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe the first night I thought maybe somebody was partying. But then when I moved and I saw their energy and saw them interact with each other, it wasn't partying at all. It was a lot of drunkenness and a lot of just terrible conversations with each other, threats, and calling each other names. And it was like really horrible energy. So as soon as I started sending love to them, they packed up and left. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that really does work. When you send in the light, it eliminates the darkness, right? So that's what I did while I was there. I just kept shining light Just kept sending love. Everywhere I went, just send love. Jean says, love you all so much. And so glad our Teri is back home in our love, and I must go. Yes, and let's lift up your baby, Harrison, who is going in for his surgery this morning, and hoping that goes with ease and grace for him. And that he's not too mad at you, Jean. Isabel, prayers for all of us and our families. Prayers for all in special needs around the world. Prayers for India and all countries in trouble still. Prayers for forgiveness all over the world. Respect, health, happiness, and peace. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who were here this morning. Let's go into our hearts. And as this is Manifesting Monday, I think the message for us all is to lose the expectation. That's what I feel. Lose the expectation. It will bring in whatever it's supposed to bring in. And when we don't have that expectation of what that looks like, it will be a miracle for whatever shows up. Something will show up when you say, okay, I let go, I let God, I just allow, instead of trying to force it, instead of trying to make something happen. I'm just going to allow. So let's go into our hearts. Just breathe in right now. Remember all of these prayers that have been lifted without any expectation of the outcome other than the very best, whatever is for the best and highest good for each one that was lifted up. We just lift and send light to each person, to each country. And as you think about what you want to manifest on this day, on this beautiful day we've been given, it's a gift that we've been given. What are we going to do with this gift? Just ask yourself that question. What am I willing to open up to and allow this day in my life? What miracle am I going to allow in? Not putting any limits on it. Not putting anything on it that I think it might be about. What am I going to allow? Will I allow blessings? Will I allow abundance? Will I allow love into my heart today? And just let it grow. Let it glow. Just shine in your beautiful selves. I love you so much. Let's share that love with each other. Hold that energy of love in your heart. Know that you are love and you are loved. And as we call in the angels to touch each heart that's here, each person listening right now, each person that will listen later on the replay, just know you are loved. And now send that love forward. Just send it to one person with gratitude. Say thank you. I love you. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I love you. I love you all so very much. You are family. Receive it back into your heart and have a most blessed day. I'm going to play our song and get us out of here. And I will see you at 6 o'clock Eastern Time for On Angel Wings. It's a beautiful day. It's Monday.
So you're in a hurry, but you better calm down. We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry,
It's a beautiful day. Yes, it is. Come on, let's play. Y'all are so beautiful. I love seeing all of your names up there. I know we're missing some P's, so whoever's not here, if you watch it later, we love you so much. Namaste, y'all.